Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar25, aka Anthony. I'll give you guys my real name.
Real
Along
name.
my along with my co-host Michael, aka Fuentemania, aka whatever goddamn name this motherfucker will take from me. Back
Come
at
on,
it
man.
again.
Talking shit. What up, Marks? Welcome to quarantine life. As we sit here in quarantine, can't leave our homes out here in the Northeast as we're stuck in the tri-state area. Our governor's telling us we can't go outside anymore.
Exactly. So
goddamn coronavirus.
So we're stuck in here, but we're still talking wrestling. We're still putting up videos for you guys, takeaways. So today is a video of 4 takeaways from Friday Night Smackdown. An uneventful,
Completely
kind
uneventful.
of another terrible empty arena show by
Very quarantine.
WWE.
Super quarantine.
They can't seem to make a good enough show as compared to AEW's empty arena show. So this is the shit we got to deal with. But this is the video for today, or 4 takeaways. Before we get into the video, remind you guys, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you guys aren't missing nothing. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links in the description below. And let's get into the video. 4 takeaways from Friday Night Smackdown. All right, guys. Show started off with the arrival of Rob Gronkowski. It's takeaway number 1, right? Not to say it's a takeaway because it's a good segment. It was an awkward, weird segment. Not really getting his whole what he's doing there. He's going to host WrestleMania, I assume, an empty arena WrestleMania, right? And he's coming out like with terrible dancing to some terrible music.
Typical Rob Gronkowski dancing.
And Mojo Rawley was the one introducing him. Obviously, they're homeboys. They've been friends forever. So they come out, and Rob Gronkowski's, cutting a promo on the inside, talking about how WrestleMania is going to be. It's weird.
Man, fuck Rob Gronkowski, man. I'm a Jets fan. Fuck him. Fuck him and Tom Brady. They got Tom Brady out of the goddamn AFC.
He doesn't fit, to be honest with you. And like him and Mojo's whole shtick is kind of weird.
The
stupid hype thing, the acting
suck.
like a bunch of dumbasses.
Listen, the fact that Mojo Rawley is still here after at least 7 years of being around, I would say at least 2014 he's been around NXT, 2013 around there. The fact that he's still around is pretty amazing because he's been pretty useless.
Yeah,
for being honest. And then Gronk is just being thrown in because he's a name. But who gives a fuck about Gronk? I know I don't. Do you? Unless you had him on your fantasy team or you're a Patriots fan, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, so he's just there. Obviously he's signing a deal with them. I'm not sure. I doubt he's gonna wrestle. He might be more of a personality or some shit like that.
He looks really skinny now.
Just because all that time he's gonna have to put in for him to wrestle and stuff like that. And obviously, going back to WrestleMania, I believe it was 33 in Orlando. Mojo Rawley wins the Andrew the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with the help of Rob Gronkowski shoulder tackling Jinder Mahal, to help him win. So obviously, these guys have been together for a while. They're talking about WrestleMania this year. That's gonna be 2 nights, and then here comes King Corbin to basically, talk some shit. And then here comes Elias, and they set up. Robert Gronkowski basically sets up the match, Elias versus Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. So that's the other match we have going on. Not super excited about that match whatsoever. I don't think these guys are going to have a good match together. I think each guy needs more of somebody to carry them more into a better match.
I agree with that comment.
Yeah, and then they have a segment. Well, part of the segment is Rob Gronkowski pushing King Corbin with Mojo Rawley like in the prone position behind him and falls over Mojo, and Baron Corbin hits the floor, and it's kind of a corny moment.
It was extremely weak. Extremely weak.
Yeah, extremely weak. Yeah. Now it's just like it's weird. It's a weird segment, and it started off bad just with Gronk's terrible dancing going out to the ring, and it was a throw. It was off. The whole thing was off. And like I said, we're not excited about Elias and Baron Corbin for a WrestleMania match. So,
I mean, we like Elias, but I mean, if we're being honest, this match of Baron Corbin, who cares? Nobody cares. And Rob Gronkowski and Mojo Rawley, come on.
Nobody really cares about any of this stuff, and it's just there to put a face to WrestleMania. I guess I don't think he was going to be part of it if WrestleMania wasn't moved to the Performance Center. I'm thinking that he wasn't going to have any part of it, and they may have signed him afterwards, or he would have got signed, and he may have just showed up as during the pre-show or a real quick in the ring or a backstage segment. But they got to make do what they have, and It's just this is what it is. He's a name, and he obviously has a connection to Mojo Rawley, and he's been in the ring before. Obviously, that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal moment that he had. So that's what we're going for right now. It is what it is. But that's takeaway number one, guys. It's most likely going to be the shit that sucked too, because the shit kind of sucked. I ain't gonna lie.
And the whole show kind of sucked.
The whole show kind of sucked. But let's just get some shit
more Smackdown
to the shit that sucked right now, so we're not repeating ourselves. Shit that sucked. Gronkowski's dancing and the whole segment itself, it was pretty bad. Hated it. Didn't like it whatsoever.
Nobody cares.
And
nobody cares.
The stupid theme song music that they gave Gronkowski was terrible.
Like, just weird EDM, like ecstasy music.
Yeah, it was just terrible. So that's the shit that sucked. Let's get to it. Let's get to that right now. Anyway,
fuck Gronk.
So the next thing on the show was Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak as a tag team taking on Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn on commentary. Good match. Really liked the match. Very physical match. And, the team of Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak work well together because they are pretty similar to each other. And it helps Drew Gulak because he, didn't have much going for him before, but now he's getting the rub from Daniel Bryan. So that's good. And Gulak and Bryan get the win here. And then they have a backstage segment afterwards where basically Bryan's laying down the challenge to face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania for the IC title. So it's a good match to be excited about, I think.
I mean, yeah, it's a good match, but I'd be more excited Sami and Daniel Bryan are probably going to have the best match. Let's be honest. Both guys can go. Both guys have exciting matches. But I just like the match between Gulak and Bryan, and I felt if they kept it more as a rivalry instead of them working together, becoming like a little tag team, I would enjoy the match at WrestleMania between them more than I think Sami Zayn. That's just me because I like their match so much that I felt they can build a feud off of it. Nice competitive feud. This is okay. I'm not hating against it. Sami and him are probably going to kill it. I think they're going to see the show because they're that good and they can do that. But I just think the Gulak would have been more fun with Bryan. That's personally just the way I feel about it.
I mean, unless they do, maybe it turns to a triple threat, or if not, Bryan wins the title, and then eventually that turns into a program between him and Gulak for the title.
But I would have liked I get we have to fill guys in and put guys in and stuff, but I don't know. They had such a good match at Elimination Chamber that I feel like they just should have just kept going with that. But that's just me because I that was my favorite match from Chamber, and I just love that old school vibe that they were given. I would have loved to keep that going, but
yeah. Well, the tag team match was good, and they had this little thing afterwards, so that's where they're going now. WrestleMania. Bryan, Zayn, IC title on the line. Good to see, him win the IC title if he does. Next thing on the show is just takeaway number 2 because it sets up another WrestleMania match, and it's for, the SmackDown Women's title. So recently, Bayley's been talking a lot of shit about Paige. Last week, SmackDown, Paige was supposed to be there, but since they switched the show to the Performance Center with an empty arena, Paige didn't show up, and she's currently in Los Angeles, so she's pretty much on lockdown as of right now. So she couldn't make it to this show. She was on a Skype with Michael Cole in the ring, and, talking to her on the Tron, and here comes Sasha Banks and Bayley to come out to the ring, talk shit about Paige, and then Paige sets up the match. It's a it's a 6-pack challenge, not gauntlet match, but 6-pack challenge. So she's defending her title against Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Naomi, and the surprise Sasha Banks. So they would have to go head to head in this match, and her versus 5 other women. And one of them being her best friend, Sasha Banks. So that was, pretty much it. It was kind of surprising. Well, not surprising because the rumor was we all thought that Paige was going to insert herself into a match because, the rumor was that she was coming back because now since Edge was back, she was cleared up and she was going to come back too. But not the case. So that's the match going into WrestleMania. Sasha Banks looked pretty shocked by it, but she had a little bit of a smile when Bayley left the ring.
Yeah, she was feeling it that she was, she has a match for the title, and she was looking really good in her outfit too, just to say. But definitely, she's excited about it. Again, I don't love the fact that Paige and now anybody has the power in wrestling just to create matches in WWE. It's just like even the match between Shinsuke and Gulak for next week, where we're like in the backstage, we're just gonna make a matchup out of the random because that's what. And Paige just comes in, has a match for Mania already set. I mean, it's a little fugazi for me, but yeah, should be a good match. Bayley's been good as a heel. I like her as a heel. She's even on Twitter. She's been a heel on Twitter. She's been good social media doing that, keeping the kayfabe alive.
Yeah.
Also, she said after on Twitter that her and Sasha are good. It's all good. Relax. Everybody can just relax. If there's no beef, whatever. So we'll see where it goes, but it should be a good match. But do we need Paige being like the matchmaker. I don't know if we need
No,
all
unless she's gonna have a little bit of a role later on, because right now she just has the backstage TV show role,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
hasn't been on
So
TV. So let's see if she shows up more after this whole thing clears up with what's going on right now.
we'll see.
Now nobody in that match I think poses. I mean, maybe Naomi. I don't even think Lacey Evans at this point poses much of a threat as to
No.
somebody you
I
would
mean,
think that's gonna win the match.
I
think
think
it's gonna
Sasha.
be. Yeah, I think Sasha's either gonna win or Bailey retains. It's the only thing that makes sense, anyways.
And though, like the best story to tell out of that match is to go into the next phase after WrestleMania is having Sasha somehow win the match, whether it's cheating or trying to beat or teaming up against Bailey, and they can work a feud between that out. And God knows, we all know they have great matches, so it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to Takeover Brooklyn match that they had where Bailey won the title, and then they had that last woman standing match. I'm sorry, not last Iron Woman match.
Iron Woman,
that's what that match they had after that, the following Takeover.
Yeah.
Which was two tremendous matches and two of the best women's matches in NXT history. So that they can go obviously together, but there's going to be a lot of more moving pieces in this match, and they may tease some things here and there. And if the full-fledged betrayal happens with Sasha Banks, if it does, hopefully she's the one that wins the title. Like I said, I don't think anybody else in this match really makes sense to win the title right now. Especially not, Tamina. Tamina doesn't make no more sense to me because you barely even see her.
Dude, even Bailey was ranking on it. Like, is she still fucking signed? I mean,
I really think they probably should have put Carmella in there instead.
Yeah, Carmella. Anybody else but Tamina. Tamina hasn't been around.
But the problem is I think Tamina's still a heel, I think. So they need more heels in the match. They can't have just a bunch of baby faces and two heels.
Like Bailey Bailey basically killed her character when she said, "Is she even signed?" Like, come on.
Yeah, which is true because no one even
fucking knows.
You never see her on TV anyways. So she's never had a big role to begin with.
No, she's just like the heel manager or just like the muscle. That's all she's good for.
So that match is made. It's an extra match to Mania, a multi-person match just to get people on the card. But not something I'm super excited about. Just to see, what happens. The only thing I care about is just see or anybody cares about, just see what happens between Bailey, Sasha Banks, and where that goes from there, and who's going to come out with the title. So there you go, another match for Mania. Next thing on the show is takeaway number 3 of the night, and it's a lot going on here. So it starts with Miz and Morrison in the ring with the dirt sheet. Their little segment, their show that they have. And a little funny thing they did, had a pre-tape stuff where they added in Miz and Morrison in the crowd like fans. They were just up as New Day. They're just up as Bacon, right?
Yeah. Or Ham, bro. It's Ham.
I'm sorry.
Ham. God damn it. Get it right.
Yeah.
Not Bacon.
Ham. And then they were just up as the Usos, which that was the funniest one. Where they were the Usos. They were out. That was pretty funny. Yeah, they were the Usos. That was pretty funny. So, it's just a funny segment they have in there, and then they go to commercial, and all of a sudden they're having a match with Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, which
going back to the last week's SmackDown, there was actually picture of. There was the match between Bailey and Sasha Banks against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, where they went to commercial break, and there was picture. They just stopped the match, right? Because there's no fans there. So as soon as they go to the commercial break, for the live crowd, they keep the match going, obviously. But since there's no crowd, they stop the match. So for us to believe that that match started and was going on while I was in commercial, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes no. And like, who took the picture of them not wrestling?
Somebody in Meltzer's back pocket, most likely.
Had to be, right? Because like, where
the person who leaks all the shit to Meltzer is the one.
Vince is like there was only so many people in that building. Vince is like checking everybody's phones when they walked out.
So speaking about that, right? So who takes the picture? Now, remember we said about AEW, they had the wrestlers in the crowd, made it more engaging, more fun to watch. SmackDown, empty again, hard cam facing empty seats instead of the set.
It's so
takes
dry.
You out of it. Completely takes you out of it. It feels awkward. It feels weird, and it feels unimportant and something you don't want to watch. But
now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't sit there and watch it live, especially on a Friday night. Even during quarantine, it's too hard, especially when you're married. You wait till your wife falls asleep, and I sit there and I'm trying to watch the first minute of the match and be like, "This is awful." You have to fast forward. You can't. Right? How about you? Can you sit there and watch a match?
It's tougher without anything going on and the way it looks. No, because like I said, AEW had the guys in the crowd.
AEW, I watch every match without fast forwarding. I watch the entire show without fast forwarding.
Yeah. So that being said, like we said, came back a commercial and immediately there's a match between Heavy Machinery and Miz and Morrison.
All right.
It was a good solid tag team match, right? Can't take anything away from it, even without the crowd. Otis plays off the crowd a lot, especially with the stuff he does, the funny little faces and stuff like that. So being that there's no crowd there, it's kind of a miss because he's just doing it to the people on TV, so it doesn't really come across as good. But the match is going on, and all of a sudden you see Dolph Ziggler post Instagram pictures of him and Mandy on the Tron. Otis sees this, snaps, gets disqualified, and begins to, use a chair and beat the shit out of Miz and Morrison, and then that's the end of that. So obviously that match is coming for Mania because since they announced there's going to be no Battle Royals this year, they're going to have to give the payoff to this Ziggler-Otis thing probably at WrestleMania.
And it's 2 nights, so they're going to have fill up at least 2 cards.
Yeah.
Figure 8 and 8 or 6 and 6, something like that.
But, I mean, it was a real dastardly move by Dolph Ziggler to post those pictures. I did see those pictures on Instagram this week, and when I saw them, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this! It's fucking ridiculous."
Do you think Dolph is really,
No, but,
no,
but yeah, it's funny though because like she did post those pictures on Instagram, so I do like when they take that stuff into social media. Like take Lana for example. Take Lana for example, right? She had the whole thing with Bobby Lashley, or she's still like supposedly kayfabe married to Bobby Lashley. She posts nothing with Rusev on her social media.
So far, nothing. I haven't seen anything for months.
So you would think that they're not together anymore, which is pretty sure they still are married. I think.
I know. I really hope Rusev hasn't fucked that up.
Like at this point, you're kind of wondering, are they still married? Did they really divorce?
It gives every guy that's not that hot that can get their super hot wife.
Yeah.
It gives us hope.
Yeah.
All right. So don't fuck that up, Rusev. Please have not fucked that up.
I don't think he has. I think they're still together, but she is really playing it off to this day where they have no pictures together anymore.
She has Bruce Willis on her Instagram and not even Bruce.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have to check Rusev's Instagram just to make sure, and his Twitter. But this was cool. They did that. They put it on the Tron. Otis went crazy. So it shows like a mean streak in Otis, and he's not as like not much of a pushover
or like goofball that he plays off to be.
Right now, we all want him to get his hands on Ziggler, but also get his hands on Mandy Rose, meaning that he gets the girl in the end. Hopefully, let's see what happens.
Dirty talk, guys. Keep it down a little bit. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, just arm around her, not like
Me Too style. God damn,
not
bring it down a notch.
Shit like that.
All right, Jesus. We're the Me Too era, buddy. Come on.
But let's see if that happens. That WrestleMania match most likely will happen, whether it's a tag between Heavy Machinery and Rude and Ziggler, or just Otis versus Ziggler. Whoever wins gets the hand of Mandy Rose. Some old school shit. Some old school night shit like that.
Elizabeth.
So we'll see what happens. Now, that's the end of that segment. The next segment on the show, the final segment. Well, one thing. They have this stupid ass, like, I don't know why they do this shit where they keep showing you older matches. Like, WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt versus John Cena from WrestleMania
7 years ago. 7 fucking years ago.
So, wasn't it 6, actually?
2013.
Well, I mean, it's WrestleMania 30, and we're at 36.
Or was that 14? No, was that 13 and 14? What year was that?
Who the fuck knows? But
all right, so 6 to 7 years ago.
Yeah, because it's 6 WrestleManias apart. So I don't know why they have to spend so much time on this shit. I mean, just give us other matches, or give us something like to sink our teeth into to watch.
Something that we care. Like, why would I watch a match from like 6 years ago?
You could literally just go on the network and watch it. Why do I have to tune into your live television to see something that's on the network that I could just easily just watch?
And not even that, but they're gonna give on ESPN for the next few Sundays before WrestleMania. They're gonna give encore presentations of 30, 31. So they're skipping 32 for some reason, and they're going to 33. I don't. Why? Yeah. Why would you show us this match if you're going to show us that, like, for ESPN?
On ESPN, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. Just put a match out there of anything. Who cares what it is? Just throw it out there.
It makes no sense why they do this, but they're doing it now. So that took up a lot of time. That's like an hour. Close to an hour, right?
Like I would say 30 to like 40 minutes. I would say
40. Let's say 40 to 50 minutes taken up of the show, where they could have just had something better. Now this leads us to the final segment of the night. Takeaway number 4: the contract signing between Roman Reigns and Bill Goldberg. Now, a contract signing in an empty arena to me is pointless, because you play off the crowd when there's a contract signing. You want to have
like a second week in a row they've done this.
Yeah, and there's usually always physicality and stuff like that. Now, there was no physicality in this. It was just basically Michael Cole has both the guys in the ring. He asked Roman Reigns about a tweet that he sent out, and it was somebody asking him a question about when he pounds his fist on the steel grate on his entrance, does it hurt? He says no, he has a little bit of padding on his hands. It's not like me banging my head into steel doors, that'll be a dumbass move or something like that, right?
Which is because someone had a concussion last time.
Yeah, so he's taking a shot at Bill Goldberg because Bill Goldberg obviously always does that, and he concussed himself one time when he previously came back in that whole run with Lesnar a few years ago. So that's that. And then Goldberg's rebuttal to this was like he's been bashing steel doors with his head all over the country, which is like
all over the world,
which is stupid. Like a stupid comeback.
Okay,
like
I guess Goldberg.
Yeah, he's calling you dumb for doing it, and then you say that you're doing.
I've been a dumbass for fucking years all over the world.
Yeah, that's what it comes off at. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it comes off at.
I've been a dumbass for fucking 25 years.
Yeah,
fucking bashing my skull all over the world.
Bashing your skull and also bashing Bret Hart's skull into the 10th row.
Yeah, you fucking ruined his career, Goldberg. Thank you a lot.
Bret Hart shit all over him in the Broken Skull session. So if you have something to watch, probably watch that Broken Skull sessions with Austin and Bret Hart because he will shit on Goldberg at the end of it.
I mean, and so he should because let's face it, like he knocked his head into like
at that point, but the contract signing was bad. I mean, Reigns came off better than Goldberg because Goldberg came off stupid with that stupid comment that he made at the end, and he signed it. And they had like an intense stare down, but there was no physicality. So
there was nothing.
In an empty arena, there's nobody. Nobody plays off of it, right? An intense stare down, people are playing off of it. Either they're chanting, they're booing, they're cheering.
There's a hype around. There's like it'll get that big fight feel, but no, there's no one in there. No one's. We're just okay. And in TV, it just comes off as like who get. And not to mention, I've already been shitting on this match since it was announced. Like no one gives a fuck about. I still don't think people give a fuck about Goldberg since like 2000, since the year 2000. Even when he did his little comeback against, we were all hoping that he wouldn't beat Kevin Owens. He beat Kevin Owens. We were all pissed off. We were pushing for Brock Lesnar to beat him, and he did. So let's if for being honest, no one gives a fuck about Goldberg. This feels rushed. It feels like he had nothing for. You just didn't want to. They wanted to avoid Fiend Roman, and they were just like, this guy will be the filler for now. And it's just there's nothing for me.
Yeah, when nobody's super excited, they're just billing this spear versus spear, and nobody really cares. We all know Roman's going to come out on top, so it's pointless, worthless. I know Goldberg is the name, and maybe he'll get guys, people who stop watching wrestling after, WCW dissolved or whatever, or in that era that they might come back and see Goldberg.
Those guys exist anymore, if we're being honest. That was
come back and watch like a 7-hour pay-per-view just to see one guy that you used to see back when you were a teenager.
Years ago.
Yeah, so I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. They like bringing it back. They like this. I guess it's money. Maybe you can. Goldberg is a name. He's out there. He is famous, and you could put it out there as like a just name value adding to the show itself. But It is what it is. It didn't come across well on TV, obviously, because it's empty arena. So
it was a failure.
It's pointless to do a contract signing. If it was, they probably should have. I mean, going back to Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3, they had the contract signing pre-taped in a room, with like a table, and they had Bobby the Brain Heenan in there and Roddy Piper, and it had an intensity to it. If you don't have an arena with people, why not just do it in a location somewhere else, like in a boardroom?
That's a great call.
Have them sign it there.
That's a great call.
Because if go on YouTube and watch the contract signing between Hogan and Andre. Obviously, this has a lot to do with Hogan and his intensity and the way he's playing it, and he doesn't take his eyes off of Andre the entire time they do this contract signing. So they should have done something like that, and it probably would have came off better.
But it was, it was a different time, different era, and it was the first time Andre was a heel and he was betraying Hogan, and he ripped off the cross.
Well, obviously, the storyline is better. Way better, right? Obviously. Yes, but what I'm saying is the concept.
Yes, let's do it.
If you have no fans, do that shit in like the boardroom where Johnny Gargano cut that promo on Tommaso Ciampa. That boardroom, use that boardroom performance center, and have them sit there, have other people like other
whether it's Triple H or Stephanie or something like that.
Have Triple H and have like an agent.
Or Vince can come out. Who knows? Yeah. Bruce Pritchard.
You could have had Pritchard and Triple H, or Triple H and Mark Carrano, the guy who's VP of Talent Relations, something like that. People know.
Fucking bring out Johnny Ace. Who gives a fuck? Just somebody.
Exactly.
Just somebody.
Have them there and have somebody in the middle, giving them the contract to sign.
Not Michael Cole. I was gonna say Michael K. Michael Cole. Not
Michael Cole be in the middle, like just like announcing.
Well, no, I'm saying like just the way it was in a ring, an empty arena. No one gave a fuck. No one cares. No one cares. No one's excited for this match anyway. No one believes Goldberg should be champion anyway, and it's all.
Yeah. So I
rushed.
like I said, I think they would have played better if they would have done it in a spot like that, conference room, had him there, and then you could build the intensity in the room, and then you could do maybe an altercation or like a pull apart at that point. But in an empty arena, it doesn't really work because there's no crowd to play off of it. So the segment was a miss. Nobody's excited for this match. We all know Roman's gonna win. Now that's SmackDown, guys. Another lackluster empty arena show from WWE. We'll see what they come up with this upcoming week. But we did the shit that sucked. Obviously, that was the Gronk thing, and that's the video. But I do want to say something to look out for on March 24th. It's the return of in what's the Vice thing called? Vice thing called Beyond the Darkness, something like that, right?
Darkness,
yeah, Beyond the Darkness.
Oh no, Beyond the Darkness.
I think it's Beyond the Darkness, right?
Fuck. We should ask Suri. You should have wrote this down, you fucking guy. What are you talking? But is it Beyond the Darkness?
The Dark Side of the Ring. That's what it's
Dark Side of the Ring. Right there makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'm like a fucking real show.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. And we're not editing it out. It's going to stay in there.
No, you're a scumbag for fucking
March 24th, Dark Side of the Ring, the season 2, the first episode is going to be the Benoit story.
Man, that's the first one.
Like so it's going to have Chris Jericho on there. So tune in for that, something to watch. And also watch that Broken Skull Sessions with Bret Hart on there because he shits on Goldberg, he shits on Vader, he shits on Honky, and he shits on Hogan. So
Honky too, man.
Yeah,
goddamn,
he shits on Honky.
Everybody shits on Honky. Also, I'm gonna throw in FCW, the birth of FCW on the network, and the Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah,
like that's
all
a great little. I think it's 4 or 5 parts. It's really good. It's about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on which one you pick on, but it's really, really good. It's well done.
The FCW one is good as well. Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely, they need to come out more things like that. It was really, really good.
But in WWE terms, we bring this up because these empty arena shows are so bad that you should go on the network and start watching some of this stuff. And then March 24th, Dark Side of the Ring, watch out for that because that's going to be good. But that's the video, guys. 4 takeaways from SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown, empty arena again. Hopefully they start doing something different because these things are tough to get through.
Well, what sucks is that Vince isn't gonna go like, damn, that was a better show on AEW, but we can't copy what they did. But like Vince, they're not because they're gonna be like, oh, we're watching AEW, and like they want to make it like they're not watching AEW.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, and they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, nothing we can do about it. But guys, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back again with a Monday Night Raw video. Hopefully, it's a better show than this. But we'll catch you guys later. Remember, if it doesn't work for you, brother, do not do that job.
Later, Marks.